To-Do List application. Before we begin, quick reminder, I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You're free to join the live chat and post anything about programming or lifestyle topics. And as you can see in the article, has a link to the live stream. You can also watch the video below. It's also embedded in the article. I'll show you that when we scroll down later. Be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments. It helps the channel grow and helps other people, maybe like you. You're learning PHP or you want to learn how to build web apps. All right. So this simple PHP to-do list, it also teaches you how to use CRUD for the best practices. If you don't know what CRUD stands for, the C stands for create, the R stands for read, the U stands for update, and the D stands for delete. So that means it's obviously a database. That's where you're going to create, you store the stuff in the database, you're going to read them, that's a select, and you're going to update them, and then you're going to delete them. Okay. So obviously you're also going to learn some server-side logic, how to create forms. There will be HTML. This is not a styling tutorial, but you can do some basic styling. I have dedicated styling tutorials and basic database operations. So in this tutorial is just for you. So we're going to walk through creating this PHP to-do list that basically uses a web form and to perform the CRUD operations that I explained. It's a beginner-friendly course where you learn the fundamental elements of PHP and MySQL. I'm using MariaDB, which is a fork of MySQL, but you obviously, if you have MySQL, you can use that as well with MariaDB. You can follow along. Everything will be exactly the same. Okay, so you're also going to learn, as I said, simple HTML. HTML is a markup language. How to handle the form data using post and get. Post, I'll explain this when we actually show you the code. And we're going to use you can use the MySQLi, that means the I stands for improve, or you can use PD, or PD stands for PHP data objects for database interactions. And the best practices for securing user input. You should never trust user input. This is where we're going to use prepared statements. I'll explain why those again when we do the database part. And how to structure your app for clean, readable code. And I said there are going to be some basic CSS, but I said I do at least once a week. I try to do something with CSS, so you can learn CSS there as well. If you want me, I can do more CSS tutorials as well. So I do have PHP 8.4 on my local system, but this will work perfectly fine with any version of PHP 8 that's still supported. So that I think it's PHP 8.2 if I'm correct. And of course you can follow along locally if you have, like, for example, XAMPP. XAMPP is cross-platform, Mac, Linux, and Windows. Or you can use MAP. The M stands for obviously Mac, and WAMP, the W stands for Windows. And you have probably seen this before. It says LAMP, the L stands for Linux. So as I said, for me, I'm using Linux. I installed it directly from the repositories, but as I said, you can use any other. You can even use containers. You guys have seen me use containers. Actually, I do 1 or 2 containers every single week. So if you look any week you want, you will see how to use. I use Podman and Podman Compose, or a live server. So you can also do it in your live server. As I said, you can use MySQL or MariaDB. You need some type of a code editor. Any text editor is fine. That I would recommend you get a programming editor. Every week I've also been reviewing at least a programming editor, so you can use any of them. You can use Nano, the terminal ones, Vim, Emacs, IDEs like Dini, NetBeans. They're all free and open source, the ones I've reviewed. And a browser to test your app. So any browser. I would recommend one of the modernish browsers that there are some terminal browsers. Those those also work. So I changed my mind. Any browser will work as well, as long as you're able to post, do post and gets in it. Okay, so the feature of this application is very simple. Obviously, you need to be able to add tasks, you need to view all the tasks, you need to edit any existing task, and you need to delete tasks. So the source code is here. both for the HTML and the HTML form, and then the one for the form handling is here as well, and also for, I'll show you how the database stuff works. I'll set that up in a second. I've already explained this, and we'll go through this when we actually get to the code. So let's actually get started here. So the first thing I need to do is I need to start up the servers. So what I'm going to do is I need to start up at least one server. So I'm not going to start Apache. I'm going to use the PHP built-in web server, and I'll show you how to run that here on the command line. But what I think I do need to do is, let me clean this up here. Okay, I'll zoom in here. So one thing I need to do is I need to start the MariaDB server. So it's systemctl. I'm on Fedora Linux. Start MariaDB. So it's got my MySQL password, and that's it. Now I'm also going to start. I'm going to start. I need to start Apache, and this is because I want to show you guys another way to set up the what do you call it? Another way to set up the oh my god, I can't speak to it. Another way to set up the database. We need to create a database, and obviously to start on the command line, to start, so just type the PHP server, so PHP space -s, capital S, space, you can type localhost. I'll just put 0.0.0 colon, I'll use 8000. I don't think I'm using it. I'll use 8000. So so you see, sir, this is the development PHP server. It clearly says development, so don't use this in production. But because I'm local, I can use it. As I said, I could also use the Apache one, but I wanted to keep this as simple as possible. All right, so that's started. I don't need this anymore. I want to go and let me open up this app. Let's look at the app first, and I'll show you. I'll show you how the app looks like. So I can use Guinea. I'm going to use just the simple GNOME text editor just to show you what the code looks like. Everything is in one file. Okay, zoom up here as well. So you see, I'm using, you guys probably know this, I'm using the so the database connection. It's going to be localhost, obviously. The user is GAI, that stands for generative AI. That's because I do a lot of AI stuff, so I have a database dedicated to that, so I'm going to repurpose it. That's database username, and the database user password is this one here, and then the database name is the same here as well, because we only need one table. And then after that, you see we're using the connection is going to be, we're using MySQLi, that stands for improved. The old one for PHP4 was just without the I there, so that's why the I was because it's improved. So the connection, we get the host, user, pass, and database name. And if we can't connect, it will just die and print out an error. So this is important to show, like you don't want the code to continue. So we want to kill it because a database is required for the application to run. So this is just one way to make sure you don't continue. Otherwise, if I didn't put this command in here, it would continue, and then there will be a whole bunch of errors, or it'll be confusing. So this is one of the best practices. Just kill it, and that way, if you're the administrator, obviously you're the one coding, so you know that the problem, like it's on line 10. So something obviously went wrong just before that. You could not connect. It could be maybe the database doesn't exist, or the credentials are wrong. Okay, so after that, to add a task, we see we're using post. See, it's underscore post, all caps, and then we have this one add. I'll explain that when we show you the form. So what I do, I trim it, so meaning that we don't want any trailing space. That's what trim does. It removes the beginning and the end. So beginning, trailing on both sides, front and beginning and end. And then we check to see if it's empty. So if it's not empty, now some of you might be saying, hey, why don't you check for other things? So the problem is, because it's a task, you have to think about it, is that you have to be more lenient on what you allow. So basically anything. So the problem is somebody could put some malicious code in there. So this is why I said this alleviates that issue by using prepared statements. So this is what we do. We use prepare, and then we insert in two tasks. So task is going to be the table, and the task is just one, and the value here. You see, instead of putting the value straight in here, we use a placeholder. So in this case, I'm going to use the question mark here. And then what I will do is we bind it. So you see it says statement bind underscore param. So I'll come back to this in a second, and you see the task. So the task, remember, was this one here. We trimmed it. So you see here, this is S. S stands for string because it's going to be a string. So if it was a number, there's another one for number, and there's also one, I believe, for boolean. And I believe that's usually, most of the time you're going to be using S for string, because for example, like a name, something like the date, all of those are strings. So what this will try to do is it will try to match what the database is, what the database column name is. So in this case, string, that means text. And then when you execute, it is going to insert it into that. It will insert it into this table. So this is a quick way of how, instead of having put, like for example, slashes and escaping, this will insert it in a safer way into the database. This is not 100% foolproof, so you do need to be aware of that, meaning that there are people, I've seen people who hack and they're able to actually escape this, pretty smart people. So I said be aware of that. You should also do some other, like I said, never trust user input. You should always also do other things. For example, if somebody logs in and maybe like for example, somebody purchased something, so those I'm saying is that's when you can be more lenient, because okay, the person clearly doesn't want to hack the website if they're purchasing something. So I'm saying just know when to be more. For example, if it's admins, yeah, you can be slightly even more lenient. But even then, I've seen where admins also do get hacked. So I'm saying is just put as many without being annoying. Just try to be do the best you can without being annoying. If you need more tips, I can always help you. I said this is one of them where you can alleviate some of those concerns. And I said this is not foolproof. You should always sanitize and validate data. So for example, here, this is a task. I said this is very, very difficult because a task could be anything. For example, a task could be something like, oh, please use this JavaScript, and this person puts the JavaScript code with the script tags. That's what I'm trying to say, is that I can't strip that out, is what I'm getting at. So I'm saying is just use your I don't like that word common sense, but I'm saying just be aware of that. And then when that's done, we then redirect back to it says here underscore server, all caps. Then it says PHP underscore self. That means it will redirect to the same page. I'll explain to you why we do that. If you don't do this, because remember, it's just everything is handled in one file, what that means is that if somebody just refreshes, it will keep on sending the same task over and over and over again. So if you remember, I told you guys before, when I started doing this, when I became a freelance programmer, some of the things I was getting like for example, like donations for a client. I was the subcontractor. They would have like 10 billion records. We're in Canada. Canada doesn't even have like 100 million people. So clearly, if in a month you have, like I said, 10 billion records, something is off. That's very fishy, right? So that's what I'm saying. That the reason for that is because when I looked at the form, I realized the form was pretty easy. People you can refresh several times, and the problem with that is then they will be charged several times for the donation. So that's what I'm saying, is that when you're coding, make sure you test. That's one thing I dislike about most of the code today. They don't really hire testers, or people don't volunteer to test because they don't like it, and then you exit here. So exit means that sometimes when you do this, you see where it says location : so this one sometimes takes a little bit of time, So what happens is it will actually start executing the code below it. So that's why we put exit here, meaning that if this is taking too long, it's not going to continue down here. It will just exit, just so that we'll let this one finish. So that's another best coding practices if you do use this. Okay, so next we have the delete one. So if you notice, delete is not post, it's get. So get is a fast way. For example, with get, you don't have to have a form. Post, it must always be a form, or if you're using JavaScript. Get, you can simply use, for example, an anchor tag. You just put a question mark, and then, for example, this one will just be the ID. So you see here, I did sanitize the ID. So you see here, I cast it into an integer. And then, so this is another best practice. So make sure it's always an integer, because we do need an integer. And then, since because it's an integer here, I don't really need a prepared statement, but it's always good practice to you always use prepared statements. So in this particular case, and I'll explain to you, I'll give you a reason for that as well. So this int converts it into integers, meaning that the digits. If you use like filters, for example, some filters will leave hex codes and stuff like that, which are still integers, but in this particular case, we just want numeric values. So this is how to get it done. And then you can see we have another prepared statement. This time it's for delete. It's a delete from task where ID equals, and you see again we use the question mark, and then we bind it. You see in this time it's I. I stands for, you got it, integer. So it's an integer, and then the ID, which from here, and you execute, and then we close. Now, and then we also redirect to to the file itself. Okay, and then to get all tasks, that one is simple. You don't need to use a prepared statement, because that one we're just selecting everything from the tasks table and order by ID. So because we want it descending, meaning the first one is first, second one, third one, etc. like that. That's descending order by. And then after that, we close the PHP tag. The reason we close the PHP tag, because I said this one also combines HTML. See, because we have HTML. So here we have the doc type, HTML, we have the head section, etc. here. Then we have our, just a title. And then we have the styling here. It's very basic styling. So the font family, I put Arial here. The fallback is sans serif. And and the form, I just give it a margin bottom, and then we have the input, some padding. The button also has the same padding, and then because we have unordered lists, if we have many tasks, and then we just what did we do with that one? We just change the styling and just give it a margin, and then for the delete, we give it a color of red, and because it's a hyperlink, I'll show you that in a second. And then here, we just have an H2 tag, just the PHP To-Do List, if people know what it is. And we have our form, you need the method, it's post. So post means that it won't show up in the URL. If you leave this part out, it will just default to get. So then everything will be shown up in the URL. So then we have the action here. So I didn't put anything in the action, because it's, when you press the submit button, it's simply just gonna submit to itself. So you don't need to put anything in here. Okay, so then you see we're using very simple, just an input element. The type is text. It should probably be a text area, but we're just using input, and then the placeholder just says enter a new task, and we set to required field, so that it can at least do a little bit for us, and so having to do everything in PHP. Now, don't rely on JavaScript or the forms required to do everything for you, because this can easily be circumvented. But I'm saying it's good at least. It will do some work for us. And then obviously we have the button here, type submit, the name equals add. So we can target this name add, right? Same with this one, you see the name is task. That's the one, if you remember in our code, we have here, see it says post equals add. Okay, and then we have, what do we have here? So yeah, so then it says add task, and that's our form. And then here we have our, this is what we're going to list it if there's any tasks. So we're just going to use a while loop. Row fetch associate. Associate means that it will instead of grabbing the numeric one, it will grab the field names. That I find that easier. The problem is the default one is just use numbers. The problem with numbers is if you delete a field or a column, then the numbers might change around, right? Because let's say you had something like age was number 3. So then I would have to always go in here and change, oh yeah, it's now 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3 doesn't exist anymore, or what was 4 is now 3. So I prefer associative, because associative, you can use the name. So you see in this particular case, I want to grab the task itself and I want to grab its ID. The ID is needed for the deleting part. You see here, I told you it's just a hyperlink. href question mark equals delete, and then we use PHP to append the ID. And then after that, we'll just see, we give it a class of delete. That's why we styled it in CSS. And then we also have, I added this on-click simple JavaScript, just a confirmation dialog. Just return, confirm, delete this task. So if the person says cancel, then it won't go. If they say okay, then it will continue. All right, and then you see here I used another PHP function called HTML special characters. As I said before, if somebody puts some JavaScript or some malicious code in there, the special characters will escape it. And it will still just show up as plain text. That's exactly what we want here. So that's another best practice. And close off the body and HTML. That's it. Now I could do this all on the command line, but I wanted to save you guys some time. So before we run anything, I want to go to the database and show you what the database looks like. I want to go to PHP My Admin. We're going to log in here. If you remember the specific username and password we used, let's log in. And here it is. So it's tasks. So yeah, you see there's 2 of them in here. So I'm going to delete those 2. Okay, and delete. Where's that one? Not deleting. Oh, I have to press OK. Okay, so it's deleted. I'll show you the structure of this particular table. So to see that, you just click. Where is? And this is so hard to see. The structure. Here we go. Structure. You see the structure? There's only 2 of them. There's ID, which is an integer type, and then there's a task, which is a varchar 255. I could have made it text, which is 655.35, I believe. Or long text or something like that. You see, I made the ID auto incrementing because that auto incrementing means that it's also primary key, meaning that I don't need to put the value for that one. All I care about will be the task. I put task here. So every time I add one, it will auto increment, meaning the ID will keep on going up, and then yeah. So that's it. So basically, all you do is just create a table called tasks here. And then you'll be able to see the ID is just the one for, that's the one we're going to use for deleting. So let's say, similar to how it worked in PHP My Admin, you can delete that. It would delete based on the ID, which is a primary key. So it's a unique key. All right, now with that said, let's go up here. And if you remember, I also did, so it's http://localhost. Actually, I'm not going to use localhost. I can use the IP address for this. So the IP, I'll just use localhost because it's easier. Localhost 8000. And what was the name of the file? I really forgot the name of the file. What was it? Oh, todo.php. Okay, that's simple enough. /todo.php. So you see, I said there's very minimal styling. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here, so okay, that's perfect. So there's no tasks. So my first task is create live stream for 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so I click add tasks, and you see this task has been added, and you see it puts it here. This is our unordered list, and you see there's a delete. If you see down here, it will tell you it goes to to-do.php ? Delete equals 3. So that's if I delete this, it will actually be deleted. So for example, if I click this, see it asks me, says, do you delete this task? So I'm going to click cancel. If I push OK, it will have deleted. Now if I go back to the database and I go here and I click on browse, you can see the ID is 3 here, and this is our task. So I can obviously edit this as well here and then do change there as well. But so it's that simple. Now let's go back here. So I can add another task. I can say create a night live stream for 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Add, you see. Now remember, it's in descending order, meaning that the latest one will be on top, and the earliest one will be at the bottom. So that's how it is. You can edit this any way you want, and obviously, so it's a very simple app. Now, if you notice something, there's no update, even though the article says there's an update. Oh, that's simple enough. You can easily add your update here, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. So that's it. So back in the database here. Where's the refresh? You can see 3 and 4. So you can obviously, this is not a PHP admin so big. There we go. I don't know why it was so big. Let me just zoom a little. Yeah, there we go. Right, that's much better. Okay, 125. So you can see there's the IDs are 3 and 4, so you can delete this as well. So let me just create you can also create one. This thing is really hard to insert. So I'm just going to delete this bad task. Okay. I'll create this one as well. Spelling mistake. Okay. So those two could go. So now we have how many? Yeah, inside 2 rows in here. So the reason I just refresh here, you can see spelling mistake and delete this task. So hold on. So what I want to do first is I want to, if you guys want a quick tutorial, delete does work. You guys saw that. But what I want to do is, okay, so for example, I'm going to delete this one. You see deleted, and you refresh the page, and you see that one is gone. It's also gone here. If we go back to here, you can see it's gone. Number 5 was deleted. So I want to fix this one. Obviously, I can fix it in PHP admin, but I want to fix it here. So there's no update. So we're doing this live. How much time do we have left? Oh, we have lots of time. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another one here, and we're going to call it, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. Okay, so I want to copy this and change it to update. Oh, no. Oh, update is actually a little bit harder. I just realized this. Update, I don't think I can do. Update is going to be a little bit annoying because we have to, okay, I'll just call this one edit. So I'll call this one edit, and this will be edit. And I don't need JavaScript here. So this one will be edit. Okay, so edit doesn't exist, but we will so because edit is a little bit more, I don't know if I can actually edit that one. That is actually the way I did this. Yeah, okay, so I'll just say edit, and yeah, this is on the fly. So edit. So what will happen is when we edit, I will I'm actually going to reuse this form. So what I'll do is I'll grab PHP here, I thought this was, there we go. So I'll put PHP here and I'll say, oh, I have a better one. Oh, okay, I got it. There's a couple ways to do it. I can give it an action here, or I can change this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually I'll put it right here. Oh, I need to grab the data. Oops, I forgot about that as well. So let me grab the data first, and I will copy. Which one do I need to copy? I need something similar to this one. Okay, here we go. I'll put it here. I'll say edit task. So then what I'll say if it equals delete, I'll just copy this one here. I say yeah, it's get. So it's edit, then edit. Obviously we're not going to delete, we're actually going to use this. So we're going to say select all from tasks where ID equals this, and then blah blah blah. So when we grab the data, in this particular case, we're going to execute the statement, and then we also we're going to close it. We're going to, this is actually more difficult. I wonder if I should do this in a different tutorial. Okay, so execute, we have our data, and then we, as I said, so yeah, bind execute, and then we, I don't need this part because yeah, we don't need that. Technically we shouldn't get all the data, but this is a quick way of doing this. Okay, so after this execute here, I just need I'm already using this word result, so I should say I'll say result E equals, so you just type statement get result. Oh, it's not select all, it's select actually, well, yeah, that's correct, yeah, that is correct. So it's yeah, that's fine. It should just give me one. There's only going to be one result. If you really want, it's the best thing is to put ID and task, exactly what you want. You can do that as well, but that's fine. So where task order where ID equals 1, so result E equals this. So we don't want to refresh the page. Okay, so then what we do is, that's the only time we don't want to refresh the page. So we come down here, and we can write something like this, PHP. You can say if, I'm going to write the long form, say if isn't empty result E, result E, and we're going to echo. We're going to echo value. Oops. Should I use double quotes? Yeah, double quotes. It's a value. I can also use no, yeah, double quotes. This is value equals single quotes, and then what's the name of this one? Result E. Result E. Okay, and colon. There we go. It's not empty. Why is the color weird there? If it's not empty, oh, I forgot the squiggly brackets. Okay, there we go. Oh, the double quote. I also forgot the double quotes. There we go. All right. So somebody asked before why I don't use an ID. This is one of the reasons I shouldn't. Okay, so it'll be there, and then here, because it says add, I don't want this to say add. I want this to say obviously edit. So this should be result E. Actually, all I want is the result E. I forgot. I have to get. Oops. What I need is the task. Okay. Task, and this should also be the task. Yeah. All right. So this one should be. I'm gonna grab this. So say if it's not empty task, this one we're gonna echo it's gonna be update, and else echo add. Okay, so that's fine. Oh, it says add task. Oh, I gotta change this as well. Yeah, I'll change this to save task. I'll just put out save task. Okay, so what else do we need to do? Oh yeah, and then we need to create one for, so we need to grab this. So this is very similar to this one here. So actually I'll just copy this one. I should have copied. So this is going to be, oops, yeah, so I'm just going to copy. I don't know if I copied everything. So it's going to be update, yeah, and instead of insert, this is going to be update tasks, then you say set task equals, set task equals question mark where ID equals question mark. So we don't need any of this stuff here. Yeah, and then so now to bind this, obviously you need to bind what is it? Okay, just a second. Okay, so SI, because the first one will be a string, the second one will be an integer. So task here, and obviously our ID. So that this one here. Okay, there we go. So we have our ID. Now, obviously, we need to pass in the ID as well. So what we need to do here is, where is the ID? So we also need to pass in an ID here as well. So I'm going to put it in the action, but I could put one in the action there as well, but I'll just put it here. It's okay. A bunch of PHP is fine. So PHP, again, I'll just say if it's not empty task. If not empty task, then we're just gonna echo, and we need an input. So this time I'll just use double quotes as well, it's fine. So input type equals, I'm gonna make it hidden. Okay, hidden, and then the value equals, what is the value here? Task, where's the ID? Oh, ID, okay. In this case, we want the ID. And I think that should be it. What is wrong with this? Oh, the double quotes. Yeah, double quotes. Yeah, there we go. So that should be fine. I feel like, oh yeah. So one of the problems with this is, I put it, yeah, I think I'll call this res. Okay, so that's a res. So what I need to do is I need to grab it and convert it into a, similar to what we did here. Yeah, I need to, where's the select? Oh, not a select, I need to prepare, oh yeah, so I did get the result. Yeah, so I'll use a for loop, that's fine. Just say while row equals res fetch a source oh man this is why you should use an ID. Okay, so then here what I'll do is simply result E that's oh, you know, oh, you can do that way. I don't need a for loop, I just realized. I'll just say result E equals result, because there's only one I can do this. I can just say fetch associate. Oh, that's right. Okay, hopefully there's no mistakes. All right, so let's refresh this. Yeah, thought so. There's probably some mistakes. So it says here unmatched on line 88. Okay, so let's go there. Oh yeah, it tells me right here. Oh, this is line 88. So what did I do here? Oh yeah, forgot this. Okay, reload the page. There we go. See, now I do have an edit and I do have a delete. So obviously delete works. I'm not going to bother with that. So I'm going to click this one, spelling mistakes. Hopefully this works. Okay. Another error. It says get to do edit equals 6. Uncaught call to function fetch underscore associate. Okay, I probably made a mistake up here. Oh, result. Yeah, there we go. Okay, oops, wrong one. Should be okay now. There we go. See? And now I can fix this spelling mistake. So I'm going to go there and get rid of that spelling mistakes. And I hit save. You see now it says save with a weird color. What in the world did I... Okay, why did I mess that up? Oh, I fully forgot to close it off. That's probably what happened. Let's see what I did wrong here. The button, the name, else is add. That's weird. What did it look like before? I already forgot what it looked like before. Where is my CSS? What in the world? Oh, okay, I have to inspect this. I don't know. The button doesn't work. What did I do wrong here? Oh, okay. So for the hidden value, I forgot to put the closing one. Okay, that's why. So this is why I should use an ID. Okay, so this one here, I forgot to the input right here. Yeah, I forgot to close that off. Oops. Like that. Oh, come on. Slash. There we go. Now it should fine. There we go. So if I remove this SSS and I can hit save task, you see it's changed it. Saving it changed it. I was able to edit it. So that's how you edit it. See, I was able to do it on the fly. Okay, there we go. Obviously, you can now edit, and you can obviously delete, and you can obviously add another task. So let's put one to delete here. One more time to edit, then delete. You see, one more time to edit and then delete. So let's edit this one. So you see it comes up here to delete quickly. So I hit save. You see it says quickly here, and obviously I can hit delete, and you see it's asking me if I want to delete. If I hit cancel, nothing will happen. If I hit delete again, I hit OK, you see it's deleted. So there you go. So that's your PHP to-do list. All right. So back to the article here, you see I have some screenshots. I showed you how to do the same thing here. I created the database. I use PHP, but you can do it on the command line. If you want, I can show you the code to do that. It's pretty simple. You can also do the to-do list here. You see how it's working. You type something in, and you see how it shows up in the database. And you see it's here. You can hit delete. And this is the live stream. If you want, I can show you the code to do that. It's pretty. There we go. So you can proof that it's live. Now, if you want to do this on the command line, I can I'll show you the code. It's very, very, very simple. Obviously, you create a database, and to create a table, you simply go back to PHP My Admin here and pretend this was all deleted. So what you do is, where's the SQL? Click on SQL here, and this is the command. You see, create table, tasks, ID, name, auto, etc. here, and tasks, task varchar 255, not now. That's it. You press enter, then it will create the table for you. Nice and simple. All right. So I want to dive deeper. If you enjoyed this tutorial and want a more structured, in-depth journey into PHP, check out the following resources. I have the Learning PHP book. It's a beginner-friendly PHP book covering the fundamental programming concepts, real-world examples, and challenges to test your understanding. It's available on Amazon. Search for Editor Jumbo. The link is also in the description and also in the article. There's also a Learning PHP online course. It complements the book and includes code walkthroughs, exercises, and bonus resources. So jamboshop.com. The links are also in the description and obviously in the article. And if you need help with your PHP project, I'm available for one-on-one programming tutorials, updating or migrating PHP applications, debugging and optimizing sessions. You can contact me at jambo.com/contact to schedule a session or ask about custom services. So my final thoughts: creating a simple to-do list is a great way to get comfortable with PHP and MySQL. It reinforces the key concepts you use in real-world projects, from form handling, data management, and code organization. Whether you're a student, a self-taught coder, or someone looking to rebuild their old PHP skills, this project is a great place to start. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or run into any issues. Now, with that said, a quick reminder: I do a live stream every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. You simply go to jambo.com and you can go to Watch Many Live 7. You can see topic for this and upcoming tutorial. You see all of them have the date and time that the live stream will be. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, not just for more frequent tutorials, but also help others as well. And I do have 2 resources, extra resources, recommended ones. As you guys know, I live in a rural area. So if you guys are also in a rural area, or maybe in a small town, or even some cities, I heard, where you have problems with the internet, I've been using the SpaceX Starlink residential service for about over 2 years now, and it's been fantastic. It's worked through, for example, last year, the winter was very, very harsh. It worked perfectly fine, even without the snow melt feature. The snow was usually right up above my knees because I had to go look after the chickens every single day. No problems. And as you can see, I'm doing a live stream now using SpaceX Starlink. Again, no issues. I also use it for my phone. I use it for the because, as I said, the signal is not very good here, so I do use the Wi-Fi calling. So that's perfect for that. Now, if you do use this, if you do click on this link and you actually purchase this SpaceX Starlink, I will get 1 month free, and you guys will also get a discount depending on your geographical location. The discounts are specific to geographical location, but it's worth it. If you're thinking of getting it, from I did a little research, you might get, sometimes it's 1 month up to 3 months discount. Some people also get a heavily discounted equipment. And I also have a novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Servant. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook format. As you can see there, it's by me, Edward Jambo. It's about a scientist who creates an AI and he loses control. He has to regain control of it. And as you can see, yeah, it's a real, there we go, it's a paperback version. All right, and that's made it as affordable as possible, so it's a good little psychological thriller. Now, with that said, I am going to check the live chat. I don't see any chat requests. I'm going to end this live stream early because for the first time in since early spring, it actually rained for more than a minute. So it looks like I won't be able to do anything outside today. So I'll most likely do a live stream tonight. I'm not sure what it will be about, but check back at 8:30 p.m. I'll do a live stream tonight. I don't know what. It'll probably do something with AI or fans tonight. Actually, that ties into what's coming up tomorrow. So I think it'll probably do AI. Or I think it'll be video encoding. Okay, so with that said, I am going to end this live stream. I'll see you guys tonight at 8:30 p.m. and tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye now. Have a great day.